Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Dobson777a here. Can you believe it? It is Saturday again. I can't believe another week has gone by. It just seems like we're pouring through, time is just going through that hourglass faster and faster and faster. But anyways, wanted to hit a couple things. One, garlic. It's time to plant the garlic, at least here in North Georgia. I know that sounds strange, but I found that I can grow garlic all throughout the winter, and it gives it a fantastic head start. So a lot of times they tell you to plant garlic on the shortest day and you harvest on the longest day. So in my case, it seems like for me, it works best planting in November, and then I harvest in like April or May, somewhere in there. I can't remember exactly when, but in any event, one of the things I do, and I just got these from Sam's Club today, you look at the bottom of these and you see how the roots are brown. That's the type of garlic you want to get. You want to get it where they haven't been bleached. And then what you do is you just break this thing apart and you get in these individual cloves and you just plant the cloves, and each one will grow another whole garlic just like this. And I've had 2 years, maybe 3 years in a row, I've been planting garlic, and I've done very well just in my raised beds. I usually just use one raised bed, and I forget how many. There might be 60 or 70 heads that I end up growing. Hey, Greg. So this is the time of year to do it. Probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I planted a bunch of lettuce. I planted some collards. I planted some, what else? I can't think of everything that I planted, but next month, early about this time, I end up planting my onions, and I grow them all winter long too. So I've ordered those. So those will be here shortly. Another thing I did, I was going through, I have like a directory for each month of the year that the videos and pictures that I take. And I was going through since the beginning of the year, all of the things that I've done just this year alone. And it was really impressive. So I think I'm going to do a montage to show a review of all the things that I've done this year that I've shown you. And it's actually quite impressive when you think about it. Not only, that I grew my chickens that I normally grow, but I did some turkeys this year. I outfitted my greenhouse and I grew all my plants from seed this year. I grew some chicks from eggs, and I showed you videos about that as well, using my Rhode Island Red chickens, fertilized eggs. And I had a couple of ways that I tried that. And I finally got the more professional setup with the little rocking mechanism and everything, and that worked real well. I grew a lower garden area that I had the Three Sisters stuff that I grew with squash and green beans and whatever, corn. I showed you my potatoes for the second year that I had a really fantastic harvest. I built 3 more raised beds, terraced on that side of the house. I did my solar batteries this year. I mean, you go on and on and on. It's amazing the amount of stuff that I did. Not counting having my wife leaving me after 35 years. So that kind of threw a wrench in it, but I did a lot. I even did a number of recipes for you, like the eggplant Parmesan, because I grew so many eggplant, I had to do something with them. So it's been quite a year so far, and the year's not done yet. But anyways, I'm still following my gardening calendar, and I'm just going to keep doing what I normally do. So I thought you'd like that. So what are you guys up to? I see we got 8 people watching. What are your thoughts for the day? I did see something about, we know the elections are contested, but I saw something that if they end up trying to throw out the election because of the fraud and everything that's being uncovered, what's going to happen, one theory that I haven't been able to corroborate yet, is the fact that they may end up doing this. It'll go to Congress, and each state gets 2 votes that will go towards the president. So think about how that might work out. I find that interesting how that would work out, but that might be something that will be in front of us. We'll see. I've seen a whole bunch of things. We'll see if these particular states that are contested get worked out. If they don't, there's apparently another fail-safe. besides the Electoral College, if that's gridlocked or they don't get to 270 or whatever. I guess it's done by the Congress. I was curious if you had heard about that. I did a lot of research about the some people are saying that there were watermarked ballots. I cannot find any evidence of that anywhere, that was something that they put measures in. So I think that was hearsay. Somebody said there was like radioactive tracers or something on it. I haven't found anything about that either, but who knows? Some of this stuff might have been top secret. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we're that sophisticated. I also saw one of the, I think it was out west. There was somebody worked for a newspaper. They did a test where they took a bunch of ballots and they ended up basically falsifying signatures. They tried to, mimic somebody's signature, and they sent it through the process. And I think they did 10 ballots and 8 of them went right through. So they were trying to show this whole mail-in ballot stuff is just fraught with fraud. There's no way they can be accurate, just by looking at a signature, because everything was just kind of passed through. So that was kind of interesting too. I tracked down a rumor that we were going to have some kind of trucking strike, because I went to Sam's Club and all of the paper towels and toilet paper was pretty much wiped out. And I went back today again to see if they were restocking in the morning, and they weren't. They were just wiped out. Now, when I go research the trucking strike, and I've seen these other channels, they're all like playing this up that that's a big deal. It turns out the truckers have threatened this, but there really hadn't been any organization to do this trucker strike. So they're all upset that Biden is trying to kill off fracking and screw up the oil, and raise gas prices, that the truckers rely on reasonable gas prices to be able to be competitive. So I can't see that that's actually something that is real, but people seem to be reacting to it. So I don't know if you have your supplies stocked up or not, but you might want to, because whether it's real or not, people are believing it and they're reacting to it. I was shocked to see that paper goods were screwed up again. But I think I've talked about this over and over again. Our supply chains are screwed up. We always have had this just in time for years and years now, and they do not have a lot of fluff in the system. So if you think that you're not fully stocked up, you need to figure out ways to do it. I ended up going to Home Depot and getting my paper towels and toilet paper. You pay a little bit more, but I've kind of filled my my stuff back up again. I ended up getting like 20 pounds of sugar, both white and brown sugar. I got all kinds of stuff. I got my dog food all stocked up again. I don't have all the animals like I had. I got rid of my animals back in July, but if I did, I'd get a whole bunch of chicken feed and stuff. I may go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and get chicken feed just in case I need to get chickens here if things get really bad. I kept hearing rumors that the turkeys weren't going to be available for Thanksgiving, but everywhere I've gone, it looks like they've been stocked up. They're not real big turkeys, but there have been turkeys there. What are your thoughts? All I got is Greg Steinberg saying, hey, I've talked for 8 minutes already. That's amazing. It's hard to believe I could talk that long. So what do you think? I'll show you how I plant the garlic again. I'm going to start doing some more gardening stuff. My garden is actually looking pretty good out there right now. I even planted celery for the first time. Hello, anybody home? Oh, there we go. Oat MMC said hello. Okay, I want to reiterate. I did this in a video here recently. I'm about ready to go through all of these reports that I get for miners, and I'm going to go see if there's any miners that we can front load again. So I'm probably going to be doing a rebalancing, and the members are going to get to see what I'm doing. Remember, I show you my live portfolio. I don't show you the holdings, but I show you the amount I have for each one of the positions, and I show you the performance of those positions, but I just don't show you the particular stocks. Now, the improved portfolio and the ETF portfolio, you hold quite a few of the things that I do this analysis, and then I do the front running. So you're going to get the benefit of this analysis if you're at least a gold or platinum member. So I want you to consider that, because we don't make a lot of changes throughout the whole year. Once we make our decision, it's based on good data, and there's no need to make any changes. And the doggone portfolio has done fantastic so far. Well, even since Trump has been in office, I'm going to answer Chris here. Can you imagine if Trump can flip this and expose the Dems? What would this do to metals? I think Trump is actually trying to move to a gold standard. So this is going to be fantastic for the metals if he is able to stay in office. And I think we've been on a very predictable path, as I've shown on my pitchfork chart. Gold is showing a very predictable path, and it looks like this is being planned perfectly. So, hey, Patriot Man. Yeah, I agree. Try to get to a red state. I kind of wish I was in maybe Texas. Texas seems to have the most freedoms right now. We'll just have to see how this is going to work out over time. I got a feeling I'm going to be moving between multiple homes here throughout the year. Oh, good. John Puckett's a truck driver, and he's getting phone calls each week for moving food primarily. Dino D, children of this country. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm probably going to have to give you a breakdown, but remember, I told you we're going through some perturbations here for this reset, and it's kind of harder at the beginning than it is towards the middle and the end. But I want you to be aware, this is just one of the things that we're going to be going through. There's other challenges, like I believe, weather is going to be more of an issue towards the end of this decade. And so you have a period of time to get where you need to get and get your things set up. So I'm hoping that I actually have a chance to try to get multiple places with similar capabilities like I've set up here. Yeah, that's a good question, John. Are you guys talking about striking or not? Everything I'm reading said that was just talk. Nobody's organized anything. So I don't know that we're actually going to have a significant strike. That's all the research I found. Yeah, there you go. John would know. Yeah, this has been an interesting year. Wouldn't surprise me. I think if they shot gas up to now California, I think gas is like $3.50 right now. Those dummies, they jacked up like a 30% hike when gas had gone down, and now everybody's screaming that gas is $3.50. Locally here, I paid at Sam's Club today like $1.75, which wasn't bad at all. But all the other gas stations around here seem to be closer to $2. But if all of a sudden this thing jumps up to $3, truckers probably will be pissed off, because they can't raise their prices fast enough to offset their fuel costs. So anyways, ignore some of these headlines, because it looks like people are out there just trying to raise people up. Richard, I have at least 5 royalty companies in the improved portfolio. I did a significant report that's out there, if you go look at it, on royalties towards the end of last year, if I remember correctly, or maybe it was beginning of this year. Time just flies. And we already were holding like Franco-Nevada, Wheaton Precious Metals, but I think I added 3 others, and some of them are kind of like micro royalties, and not all of them have paid off, but some of them have. And the improved portfolio shows those. Edgewater Heating's in the house. Sand got screwed. I was trying to remember. I think that was one that I had taken half the money out. I can't remember all of these things. We got so many positions right now. I've got a whole bunch of very detailed reports that I'm going to go through, and you're going to see some information here shortly for the members. Yeah, WPM, I think, was like 69% or something last time I looked year to date. Hey, Richard. Oh, my back is killing me today. I was standing a lot today, and I wore boots, and they don't have the cushion. John and I watched part of that video, but I just really haven't had time. I've been really busy. Actually, I went shopping for a Christmas tree and picked one up, so I put that together this morning, but I haven't done the complete fluffing that you got to do, and we haven't. I bought ornaments, and I went to put the ornaments on the tree and realized they didn't have the hooks, so I had to go back to the store and get hooks today. Still doing some curtain rods and putting curtains up. One of the things I'm going to tell you is, when you move towards the New Year's, you're supposed to be doing New Year's resolutions. And I kind of do out with the old, in with the new. You think about like spring cleaning, that kind of stuff. And so my life has been kind of, I've been trying to update a lot of things and just get a better feel about things and get it. I look at my bookshelf behind me now. This is a mess over here. I got to clean that up. I don't even look at some of this stuff until I'm looking in the mirror, the monitor, and I see this. Like I got to clean that stuff up. I've been doing a little thinning out of stuff and getting it to where it just doesn't look quite so cluttered, right? Quick spine company, and your back goes out. Yeah, man, I went to Sam's Club. I think I spent $600. Good grief. I haven't been in a long time, though. I used to go about once a month, and so I've been months behind. So it was a chance to try to get things stocked back up. Well, right now, when we're range bound, Durf man, what do you expect? Things are not changing. You got to wait until things are, we break out to the next level. And this is what happened last year, about December 15th. The whole thing shot up like crazy. And when there's changes, then I do put out a lot of material. But right now, the portfolio has been doing well. And I try to get your report once a week, and I do the live stream once a week. When things are stable, when things are moving like crazy, then you get more reports. When you go to looking at gold is the most predictable. Gold is on a flight path. If you look at I think I'm the only one that is showing what gold is doing in a perfectly predictable fashion. You can predict all the way out, probably, several years on this. It looks like it's on a perfect flight path. Silver is a little bit different animal, so we'll have to see what happens with that. We actually had the guy that's in charge of the elections here. He says, come on in and try to move in here just to change the vote, and you can do 10 years of prison. We'll be glad to, build some more prisons for you guys. So come on in. So I don't see that Georgia is going to be affected by this at all. Kind of silly. But again, you can see who's all about the fraud. It's the Demis. Think about what Georgia is doing, though. They're actually doing an audit. So they're not only doing a recount, a hand recount, they're doing an audit. And I'm curious if it's going to be a forensic audit. They didn't use that term, but they're probably going to identify what's really going on. Unfortunately, none of us know what's really going on behind the scenes. We don't know how much data they have to be able to, investigate this and understand what's really happened and whether these are real numbers that are presented to us or if this has been hacked or whatever else. We don't know. Now, the grain solar minimum stuff is several years out still. I like North Georgia a lot. I really like it up here. It's fantastic. I love it a lot. But they're starting to get a lot of people here too. But the nice thing about North Georgia is all the hills and everything. It kind of limits, the density that they can do. Yeah, right now my freezers are packed, so I just need to do some chickens in the spring for like 2 months to fill the freezer back up again. I may not get back into rabbits again. That was an awful lot of work, but the chickens, you can make a commitment for 2 months and fill your freezer back up again. I don't know. Doing the pigs is actually a pretty good way to do it too, but a lot of people can't tolerate pork. I like some kind of variety. It might be better to, pay for somebody's feed to grow some of these other things, and then I'll just take like half a cow from them and, half a hog and make my sausage and everything. It's hard to say. I'm going to try to keep it really simple from this point forward. If all hell breaks loose, then I may get back into rabbits again. Definitely know how to do rabbits. And I loved getting the poo from the rabbits for the garden. That was fantastic. Yeah, I can't talk about some of this other stuff. We'll have to wait till the whole divorce is over, then I'll tell you a lot of stories. There'll be some interesting things for you. I don't know how long this is going to drag out. I dumped 227 megabytes of stuff into a shared drive for the attorneys. And that was probably 99% of what needs to be put out there. But there's still some other things that I have to do. But it's kind of like when you're building a house, that trim work and everything. It seems like a little bit of work, but it ends up taking a lot of time. So this last few things probably take me another week, and then hopefully we'll settle. That's really what I've been trying to do from the beginning. But I think we've got some people that are. It'll be an interesting story. I can tell you a lot later. You got a solar generator. Cool. Just remember, everything they've been doing is just tightening the screws on us more and more and more. And so I just don't know if we're going to. I heard some things where people were texting links to articles and the links were being stripped out between when it was sent and when it was received. So we've got this big tech is not letting information flow even in your private texts now. Pretty soon they're going to get down to your emails and do the same thing. I think I would love to get the newfangled batteries for my system, but that was one of the things I noticed. I installed that system in I think it was April this year, and we've already had 2 incidences of where I've used the batteries. So that's been great to have that available. I even used my generator this last time. That would be interesting. Try go Google Trump, huh? Well, I'll tell you, a lot of these get off of dang Google. That's what you got to do. Google is use I don't know. There was like DuckDuckGo. There's Bing. There's a couple others you ought to consider trying to use. Unfortunately, Google's got YouTube. Everybody's all linked together now. Every one of my live streams have been limited monetization too, because we're talking about all this stuff. Yeah, that was Google's original thing. Do no evil. They don't know the definition of evil anymore. I think it's funny. A lot of the people that built some of this stuff, the YouTube and everything else, they realize Facebook. They realize how they've totally screwed up relationships with these things and people, the way they behave. So most of them, they don't even use their own product because they realize how screwed up it is. I will tell you, I went to a gun show today. I just wanted to see what they were charging for ammo, and I specifically was looking for 45 ACP, and a 50 pack of 45 ACP was $60, so over $1 a piece. I found a what was the other size? I think it was a 20 pack, and they were charging $40. So they were charging $2 a piece for a 40 pack. I was like, are you kidding me? I didn't really price any of the weapons or anything, but it's just the ammo that was out unbelievable. I've got a spreadsheet that I did many years ago where I was tracking like every year all different types of handgun ammo primarily, but I did get some 30-06 and 12 gauge and stuff like that on there. I need to go back and compare it to today's prices. And I even did a lot of the online dealers' prices side by side so we could see, what everybody was charging. But I think it's kind of interesting how expensive, man, it was terribly expensive. I would not buy that price at all. I think I told you the story when I was doing that ammo analysis. We were lining up side by side with gold and silver, and I was noticing the ammo prices were going up much faster than gold and silver was at that time. So we were thinking lead was actually more valuable. There's actually ways that you can store your ammo. In fact, they pulled these ammo that's been in tin cans that are like 50 years old, from various wars, and the stuff just works perfectly fine. I'm not amazed at how compliant and dumb people have become, because that's our school system. They've actually taught the people to be this way. It's actually amazing. It's the dumbing down of America. It's been horrible what's happened over the last couple decades. I don't actually think this is going to work, what they've done, this whole election thing. This is going to be a perfect video. Think about all the things they've done over the last 4 years for Trump. It's like we had quid pro. I can't think what it's called. They had, the Russian stuff. They had all this stuff they've tried to nail Trump on, and nothing, right? Impeachment, nothing. So here's the election. They're trying to do the same thing. The media's trying to say, hey, we've already told you who won. Everybody else shut up. Trump, get out of office. You've lost. Ignoring the fact that, we've got to go through, the certifications of each of the states. They've got to go through these contested legal things, which has happened even with Gore. He did the same thing. Think about how it's even if that doesn't come to a good decision, it's going to go before Congress. So quid pro quo. Thank you. I kept getting it backwards. But anyways, think about, nothing has worked that the Democrats have tried, and yet here they are trying some again. So we can see how corrupt this whole thing is. But now you've got, if heads don't roll after this, there is no hope. Even what they did with the Supreme Court justice, they did all this stuff. You can see how dirty they are. I can't even believe anybody would want to be a Democrat with as dirty as that is. You'd feel like you'd have to take a shower every day to be a Democrat. Yeah, I heard they want to unite after calling everybody Nazis and everything. Yeah, but some of these things that are in these tin cans were like in the Philippines and stuff. They dug them up and they were still good. I don't know what the Million Mile March is. We'll have to look that up. I keep waiting for this to snap. The charts look like silver should be going to, jumping at least another $5 to $10, and gold will be jumping into the $2,200 range next shot. So we'll see. Yeah, no, they don't know how to write. And I have to admit, when I got in the engineering field, I realized I didn't know how to write. I had to learn how to write clearly. You have to learn how to communicate. And I did not get taught that in school. Oh, Trump support. I think I did read a little bit about that. I've been a really busy day today. Really busy day. I even took a little nap. I wore myself out. I worked so hard. When I decorate the house, I'll have to do a video to show you. I don't, truthfully, I don't worry about this riot stuff because think about it. They're burning their own damn cities. It's like these guys are idiots. And I remember in St. Pete years ago, they burned their stores that were in their neighborhood, and the store's like, screw you, we ain't building here again. So it's like they don't think about what the hell they're doing. It's like a bunch of kids with a temper tantrum. Yeah. Oh man, you guys got to watch that movie. Let me think about what it was called. Oh crap! When I do these things, my brain isn't working quite as good. What was the name of that movie? Oat MMC Idiocracy. Thank you. I just watched that the other day. That was a hilarious movie. I believe we are really close to. I wouldn't say revelations, but I would say we're coming into another civil war. You can't go with the type of rhetoric that the other side has been doing and actually, they've actually been killing people now. You got to keep in mind. Typically, there's going to be a tipping point, and then, think about it. You're going to lose a lot of people. So that's another reason to get into a red state. If you think about the areas where all of the Democrats are, like in these major large cities, how easy it would be. They're not self-sustaining. They rely on everybody else to supply. So you just cut the supply routes, the cities die. So it's like they don't have a chance. How the hell would they think that they could conduct a civil war when, they're all in these mega cities, millions of people stuck in there? It's like they don't have a chance, and the damn people don't even know which bathroom to use. So it's like they don't have a chance. So the micronova stuff, last I saw, could be like 2047 or something. It's I don't know how they could get it down that accurate, but that was some of the things that I saw. That's a bad day if you get a micronova. That's worse than like an astronaut or asteroid hitting the Earth. Yeah, I'm not seeing any silver lining anytime soon, except for prep. Try to be as self-sufficient as you can. Try to build your um, other friends, similar thought process. Make sure you're building your teams to where you can, if you don't have everything, maybe they've got something you don't have and you can barter with. So the hardest problem I got is I've got actually quite a few prepping friends, but they're all 20 to 30 minutes away. I don't have people really close by. So at MMC, there's actually I can't think of the name of that book. There's a book that the guy wrote it's about the 5 cycles. I can't think of it right now, but this is we're going down into the Civil War cycle right now. Fourth turning. Thank you. Got a lot of sharp people on this show. I give a little clue and they always figure it out. Yeah, I like my little Cushman. I rode that around on Halloween, and that thing, it probably gets like 40, 50 miles to the gallon. It holds like 5 or 6 gallons in the tank. So I can go, I mean, you're only going to go like 30, 40 miles an hour. Um, I haven't had a chance to look at this new vaccine that they said has like 90% effectiveness to go figure out exactly what they're doing. Something about antibodies, but I wanted to make sure that wasn't a genetic modification type thing. So I'm waiting for more details to come out on that one. So funny colors. Are you saying, are you bears? Are you talking about the stock market, bulls and bears? I think the stock market's going to keep going up, but I think the gold and silver is going up faster, just like it has been since 2018. And they're going to figure out a way to keep it going up, just so that people think that they're still making money, but they don't realize that the actual money is going down almost as fast. So you have to be in. I should say the currency is going down just as fast. So the money is what you really want um, to be in. You want to be in gold and silver right now and precious metals. Yeah, I'm not planning on taking a vaccine, but I don't have to work for a living or do anything else. So we'll just have to see at some point. You may not even be able to get food unless you got the vaccine. We'll see. They're definitely trying to tie everything together. Well, you guys got the lively, all kinds of stuff coming up on this. I'll plot Bitcoin. I don't think it's actually doing anything significant. Let me look at. I heard it was at 14,000 again, but it's gotten there before and collapsed, so it doesn't get me excited. Let me look it up. I haven't looked at it in a while. Every time I would put it on there with gold and silver, the Bitcoin folks got all pissed off. Oh, it's at 16,000 now. Yeah, so it's actually done fairly well. It went beginning of the year it was about 7,200, and now it's at 16,000. So it's doubled, kind of like some of our miners have. I'll have to do some research. So it's at 121% year to date. We've got some of our miners are over 200%. Yeah, it could be. Bitcoin could definitely be an escape valve, but it's kind of getting out of the price range of most folks. They need to do like 100-to-1 split or something. I heard some people talking about it this week. I saw some articles and everything, but it's not really been on our radar because the miners have been doing so dang well. And again, as fast as it goes up, it's like we talk about silver being gold on steroids. Bitcoin is like silver on steroids. Diversification is good. I have a feeling about Bitcoin. I think about there's going to be a day when the governments, especially like our U.S. government, is going to come and say, okay, FedCoin is now released. We're all going to use FedCoin and Bitcoin is illegal. And that's what it's going to be. So I don't know. I don't see how they're going to take something that's a private developed thing and allow it to be a currency. I don't see how that's going to happen. There was a reason why Bitcoin was put out there initially, and I heard that it was primarily to get the Chinese currency shipped over here so they could buy, assets in the U.S. and elsewhere. But that was just a theory that I'd heard. But I doubt it's ever going to compete with the actual real world currencies any significant level. Yeah, I'm not your dude, and yeah, there's hundreds of these different Bitcoin-like things, and one day you're going to wake up and find out they might be all illegal, and then you're going to go, crap, I didn't listen to Dobson. Remember, government doesn't like competition. Well, even last time we did not have a nationwide lockdown. Funny Colors is kind of like a little dense, I think. It doesn't hurt to put a little money in some of these other things, but I would just I see these things that they've developed like Bitcoin is more of something that is going to help in managing like inventories and stuff. I don't see it necessarily for currency. I think that's really what that whole thing is a fantastic ledger that allow things to be cleared rapidly, but not necessarily for currency. I think there's other things in the works that are going to be much better and much easier for people to be able to use. We'll see that happen. Yep, chain of custody. It's kind of hard for people to cook the books using the blockchain, and I think that's what it's going to be used for. It's going to put a lot of CPAs out of work. That's the way I look at it. No, I'm not investing any rare earth stocks. I'm only investing in tangible things that are related to like either real estate or precious metals or miners, because this reset is, like, to me, a sure thing for 10 years here that we are going to have a unbelievable opportunity. This election thing, who knows? That might put a little wrench in the works, but I think things have already started, and I don't think it can be stopped. They're printing trillions of dollars, and we're weighing those trillions of dollars against gold and silver and stuff. So just watch. No, I don't play the short side. I've already got all my chips on the table, and I think I've been on the right side of this trade for almost 2 years now. So this is something that's going to be a long-term trade. I don't need to do anything else. In fact, more than likely, next year I'm going to be adding substantial positions. Something's about to happen that's going to make this amazing. Yeah, the blockchain is something could be used. Same thing for the voting systems as well. I agree. Well, that's part of the reason for doing the membership thing, because right now I'm going to be looking primarily at the miners. I've got a whole bunch of reports that I'm going to be wading through and kind of summarizing it into talking about how we need to rebalance. The end of the year, we've had some things really run up fast, and we're going to take some profits and roll it into some new opportunities. I've shown this thing before for miners where you have this, it's like a junior miner. I don't know what you're going to call it. It kind of looks like this. The price will go up like this. It's when they have this discovery, it kind of overshoots, and then it drops down, and then it comes back in and goes like this. So what we want to do is, you don't want to necessarily get this initial speculation, because that's a fairly short run. What you want to do is catch it when it's down in this trowel before it takes off again. And you might be early, you might be a month, you might be 6 months, you might be a year early. And then, you're going to catch this thing. It's like a very simple thing that we can do. And so what I'm trying to do is catch some of these that are down at that trowel and get ahead of some of these that get picked for the newsletter. So I call it front running. And that's actually played out very well for us this year. We had several positions that came out well. Others were just early and they haven't hit yet. But I got a few more that are going to come onto the list. And again, you're kind of getting something really different than you get from some of the other, because I show you why I'm choosing these things, and you have the opportunity to catch them. And some of the really smart people on my show that follow me, they wait for when these things take a crap, which they all kind of do for rumors and other things, and they pick them up even half price from when I suggested getting in. So by having these on your list, you can do very well, even better than even some of my portfolio performance. But I've been very happy with what we did this year. And again, it's front running, and I'm hoping that we can continue to do that. But it's not like you got to do this every month or every day. This is a once in a while thing, because again, we're on this 10-year at least is what I think it's going to be for this currency reset. And if it's shorter than that, fine. I'll be monitoring it, and we'll be able to tell if it's time to start taking some profits off the table. But right now, I'm expecting this is going to be a very long haul. Yeah, so when I do my report, Derek SRT, you'll see the ones that I'm choosing. And again, I'm not going to pick these on the front edge of where they just had a discovery. I'm going to catch it on the second edge before it comes up. We want to catch this lull right here, because that's much more predictable before it takes off, like VNNHF. That was a perfect example, folks. We picked that up last year. Oh man, when was that? July or August? I can't remember when it was. And I think I picked it up like 32. Some of you got it in the 20s. And that thing is what is it now? Good grief. I mean, that thing is really taken off. It's at, well, it's dropped down a little bit. It's 88 cents, but I think we were up to $1 there for a while. But VNHF is a perfect example. It's never dropped below my offering price. If it did, it was for extremely uh, short time period. Yeah, so Bilbo, you're still at a double right now, real close to a double. Yeah, so I'm going to go through that in my the gold and the platinum members. You'll have a very detailed report. Then I'll do a sanitized report that talks about um, the approach and why you might want to consider becoming a member, because I'll reset the portfolios again at the beginning of the year to zero, but it'll be the new dollar amount that it's run up to. Like we started this year at $30,000, and I think they're up to like 44,000 on the portfolios. So if you go back and look at what we did last year when we started in May or June, I'm thinking we were at was it 20,000? I think we made 10,000 last year in half a year, and then now we're up 14,000. The year's not even over yet. So this portfolio is doing very well for starting with a relatively small amount. I did that intentionally because I thought that would match a lot of people's portfolio. My particular portfolio is like up to 150,000 now, and I think I started at like 80,000, so I've almost doubled mine. Yeah, I'm going to have to tout my horn a little bit more to show you because we're now a year and a half into this, and some of these, I had banked some gains on mine. Mine has just done phenomenal. And like I said, I'm approaching double performance in like a year and a half. Yeah, there's more than that though. Even this tabulation electronic software, it had flipped a bunch of votes to from Trump to Biden, and that thing is used in a whole bunch of states. I don't quote me on this, but I thought it was like 30 states. So there may be some goofiness stuff going on there that are going to have to be looked into. Between VNNHF and CXBMF and a couple others, I mean, we've done very well. But I mean, go back and look at GDX, GDXJ, GOEX. I mean, even the ETFs have done fantastic. So it's like the tides come in and everybody's getting lifted. So you can just play that 5 ETF portfolio, very simple portfolio, and you'll be ecstatic just with the returns on that if you just have a 401k and all you can invest in ETFs. But if you want to spice it up, some of these stocks, these micros, they're amazing. I've been very pleased with what we've done with very little risk. This has been one of the times where I've been so happy that I got out there in advance and got you guys involved because remember, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. I just feel like I'm kind of a savvy guy. I know how to do this, and I'm trying to show you, how to do the real estate, how to do, this precious metal stuff, and I'm sharing pretty freely how it's not that complicated. And I've showed you how to build a portfolio so that you don't get massacred. It really works well. I mean, I've got some silver, but I do 20%. It's the gold is doing very well. Don't get greedy, and you're not going to get burnt as bad. And I'm still waiting for Platinum Boat to come in. It'll come in someday. Again, I've only put like 10% in that, so we'll see. But SBSW, holy crap! I forget what SBSW has done year to date. It's really taken off here lately. See if I can find that real quick. Whenever you're looking for something out of a big long list, they all look the same. Here it is. So Sabine-Stillwater's up 34.54, but I think that might be without dividends. I thought it was a little higher than that. But it was at basically 10 at the beginning of the year, and now it's 13.36. But if you go back, I don't know how to do it for 2 years, but it seems like we picked this up in 2018 really cheap. 2019, I mean. It's hard to do this. Yeah, so you could have picked it up like $3 or $4. It looks like the low was actually $2.50, and now it's up to 13. So that was one of them that I told everybody about, and quite a few people I think did pick it up pretty inexpensively, and you should be real happy with that one. Yeah, I was just on Yahoo Finance, so who knows what these numbers are. Yeah, it's kind of funny. They're the media thinks they're the gods now and pick the election. I think they're going to have a rude awakening. Remember, they haven't been right on anything yet, so they keep trying. Biden will never take office. He's never going to be sworn in, is my guess. I think Trump's going to win this thing. Trying to think. CX BMF. Let me see what that one is. CXBMF is up 158% year to date, according to Yahoo Finance. Again, it seems like these numbers aren't always exactly right. Yeah, these even Fox is getting creamed, and there's a lot of people, and I've been thinking about this too. It's time to cut the cord with the cable because we are funding MSN, all these CNN, everybody with this damn cable stuff, whether you watch it or not. And so it's actually a pretty screwed up way to do it. So I've been doing a little research on that. I may tell you, how we end up getting there, but I'm telling you, this whole package is a fairly reasonable price. When you cut out like the TV part, they end up jacking up your cable internet and everything to where it may not be cost effective. But I'm still waiting for all this other stuff to kind of catch up. I mean, I don't really watch TV anyways. We watch some movies every once in a while, but I was watching some videos where they were analyzing Biden. He looks like he has Parkinson's or something. They were watching his hand movement and everything. But I don't think that would disqualify you from being president. Well, we're at 58, 59 minutes. I need to start wrapping up. This has been a very lively discussion tonight. We only got 16 thumbs up, though, out of 46 people and more watching. Seems like we should have got a lot more thumbs up there, but that's okay. This is going to be another free video because I guarantee it's being demonetized with the discussion that we've had here, but that's okay. Trying to give you the unvarnished truth here. Internet and an antenna, that's the way to go. I'm high enough on the mountain here. I probably could do very well with digital TV. Picking up over an antenna. All right. Well, I hope everybody's treating you well. I hope you're doing well. Do the best you can. God bless.